lovelies, I'm back with another video, and I'm going to transform my husband's matted locked up hair into this faded mohawk twist. Because you see how his hair locked up in the middle where his mohawk is supposed to be, but I want to pause this real quick to put you on to
my channel, 3 Degrees of Shade. My name is Bree.
I'm Cash.
I'm Shay.
And we are
unapologetically uncensored.
Today we have a special guest,
Pretty Lanisha.
Take this moment to subscribe to our channel and her channel as well, and turn your notification bell. Alright, so today it's a hard time for us because Kobe has just passed away.
Walked onto the NBA stage.
That's three.
Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. His daughter also died in this tragic event, along with seven others.
So yeah, go check them out. Now I'm spraying his hair with some water, and I was coming through it and he was telling me it hurt, so I decided to clip off the pieces that are knotted up, tie his hair out of the way that I'm not going to be working on, and go in and just clip all of his ends off. That's where all of the knots and just the tangles are anyway, which is at his ends, and that way it will be a lot more easier on him because he's tender-headed for me to comb through his hair. So now I'm gonna comb through both sides. So what I did on one side, I did on the other, and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into this clipper. Now, disclaimer, I have not touched clippers in like 5 months. The last time I cut his hair was 5 months ago, so this is 5 months of hair growth. So I'm basically just using the clippers and trying to figure out the best way that works for me with holding the clippers. I know there's a certain way you're supposed to hold the clippers, but anyways, right here you can really tell like shorty haven't hold a pair of clippers in a long time. What in the world was I thinking or doing? Finally came to my senses and started holding the clippers properly to get the cut that I wanted. I wanted a V-cut shape in the back, so I went in with the Wahl trimmers, the Wahl detail trimmers, and I'm basically trying to figure out how I'm gonna get this V shape as sharp as I would want it. But I couldn't really see exactly what I was digging into, so I went in with a 1 guard close and just trimmed it up a little bit just to give me leverage to see like, okay, I could go up this high. I'm making my first clean guideline, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm making my first guideline and making sure it's nice, sharp, and clean. And I basically want all of that hair off, so I'm gonna go in and bald it and make sure that I have all of that hair off. Now I'm balding it with the trimmers. I don't have like some balding clippers, so yeah. And I do the same thing for the other side. So now I have no guard on and the blade is open, and I'm making my second guideline just a 1/2 inch up, not too much, just a 1/2 inch up, because I think I'm gonna have like 4 guidelines out of this whole thing. So the blade is definitely open, and I'm going in with my 3rd guideline with the 1 guard, and I'm gonna do that on this side and the other side as well. And I'm going in with my 1/2 guard open to blend. Now my blending is looking a little crazy because, like I said, I haven't touched a pair of clippers in 5 months, so I'm just really trying to get the hang of things. But eventually, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm doing it perfectly throughout this whole video, but I eventually get a hang of what I'm doing. So now I'm going in with my 2 guard and my number 2 guard, and I have the blade open. Anytime I'm trimming down the hair, I most likely have the blade open, but this is what works for me, keeping it open, and then when it's time for me to blend, closing it up or putting it halfway. So now I'm brushing the hair down basically to see if I have to go back in to clean anything up. So now I'm using no guard, the blade open, just to clean stuff up and blend at the same time. I'm pushing the blade closed to do my blending, and I noticed that with it open, it wasn't giving me that like nice blend, so I decided to close it and just blend all of that out. I'm doing and repeating the same steps with just different guards. So now I'm using my half guard closed and I'm cleaning it up, and then I'm gonna go back in with the same guard open and blend it out. And then I did put it in a halfway mark too to blend it out. Then I'm going in with my one guard closed to open. Like, I rotated back and forth between closed and open to blend it out. And then I finally just kept it at closed and just continued to blend everything out until it looked, you know, like a blur line. Then I have my 1.5 guard on closed to blend out that 1 and 2 guideline. So, you know, I'm just keeping everything in the middle and just trying to blend out the harsh lines, brush things down to see if I still got any harsh lines. And if I see some harsh lines like you see me doing now, I have my one guard on and I'm just going in and blending it out. I'm just rotating the lever back and forth until I see whichever, whether it's halfway or close, gives me the best blend. And I saw a harsh line, so I went in with no guard halfway, you know, in the middle mark, and blended that out. And this is the final look for this side. So one side down, I'm gonna repeat the same on the other side. And as you saw, I had the 2 guard on and I was just showing you guys that I basically trimmed that down already, and I'm gonna go in with doing the fade now. And basically I kind of did everything like as I went along on both sides. So I'm not gonna really talk through this because I'm literally repeating the same thing that I did on one side on this side. I'm just gonna speed through it until we're done with the side. Okay, so I'm practically done. Look at that fade, it's looking nice, right? But here I go, I jack stuff up. So right now I'm just cleaning up my bottom and stuff like that. And then I'm like, okay, let me bring it up, you know? Oh, no. And I didn't really like that. So I'm like, okay, let me fix that. And then I just kept bringing it up and bringing it up, and I just kept bringing up all my guidelines, and I'm just really jacking up the fade. Like, I just terribly just messed this joint up. Like, I'm speeding through it because it's so hard to freaking watch, but I just want y'all to know how I just effed everything up, you feel me? And this is when I realized I done messed up. So to save it, I decided that I'm gonna put a design on the other side since this side is a lot darker. So I was like, let me put a design in it. It's gonna show and whatnot. So I'm using the little trimmers that came with his clipper set, and I didn't like them. It just wasn't doing anything for me. I feel like it was just like sketching out the design that I wanted. So I went in with the Wahl detail trimmers, which was a lot bigger for me doing a design in somebody's head for the first time. Like, I never did a design in nobody's head before, so it was something to get used to. But he wasn't stressing, nor was he upset the fact that, you know, I jacked up, because his hair grow back super fast anyway. Within a couple of days, the side had already grew in, but right now I'm just cutting off the parts of his hair that locked up in his mohawk section, and I'm doing that so it'll be easier for me to comb through and detangle his hair. Plus, I was like, I want it shorter anyway. He'll probably take better care of it if it's shorter. So right now I'm just going in and I'm detangling and using my spray bottle with water to help soften up his hair, so it'll be easier for me to detangle without him being in pain. But back to the side where the fade is jacked up, and it looked like a nice fade, like completely within a few days. So because of how he works, where he works, he wears his hat. So when he's out and about, it really, like, to be honest, he don't really show his hair as much unless he's indoors or we're going somewhere or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, he always has a hat on, so he don't really stress the fact that I can literally do whatever I want on his head. So right now I'm just cutting his hair. I'm bringing everything down to 0 degrees. That can reach a 0 degrees. When it stops reaching a 0 degrees, it's kind of like at a 45-degree angle. Then I bring it out at a 90, and I just continue to cut his hair and layer it as I go. I wanted the back shorter than the front, so I'm basically done, and I'm gonna go ahead and start lining him up. Now I really don't get into a detailed lineup. I kind of just tick and tack and pat and whatever, because he already has a receding hairline and I don't want to push him back any further. So I'm real gentle on the hairline. I'm just basically cleaning it up. That's all I'm doing. I'm just cleaning it up, making it look a little bit more sharp, and I do that all around his hairline. So his hair is now washed and conditioned. I wanted to deep condition it, but he wasn't for it. So I'm putting, as I am leaving conditioner in his hair, I'm gonna make sure I get it all over his hair strands and on the sides where his fade is. And then I'm gonna follow up with argan oil and make sure I seal in that moisture. And then I'm putting Jamaican black castor oil on all of the areas that's thinning, that looks like they're going to go bald eventually, and his hairline that's receding. And I massage that in to stimulate growth. And once I'm done with that, I'm gonna comb everything through and make sure all his hair strands is coated with that lovely oil to keep his hair moisturized. And then it's time to twist. He wanted twist. He wanted a twisted mohawk, which I thought was awesome because it's different than his usual. So I went ahead and I did that. I used some Not Your Mother combing cream, and I followed that up with some Shine Jam because his hair is really soft and the twist was just unraveling. So I had to put something for some structure to keep those twists together, and I used some Shine Jam for that. And I do that to the rest of the remaining hair for his mohawk. So this is the finished results. I also want you to check out 3 Degrees of Shade's channel. The link will be below. Go watch all of their videos. And basically, this is day 1. I just finished his hair, of course. So this is the finished results. And I basically make him sleep with a do-rag on his head when his twists were in. And I'm going to show you a picture of his hair the very next day. The twist did look a lot fuller the next day and the days following after that. It just looked more full and fluffy. So then he wanted to take his twist out, you know, to wear a twist out. And I basically made him wear a bonnet to make sure he keeps in all of that moisture and keep his hair soft throughout the night. That's it. Until next time, lovelies. Like, comment, and subscribe. Later.